What up, YTBC? What up, boxing fans? This video is inspired by a conversation I had with one of my friends, and we were talking about Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Since this fight is coming up, a lot of people are talking about this fight all the time, so I'm more inclined to make videos about this fight, about the two fighters. So his thing is that Manny Pacquiao is a brawler and Floyd is a boxer. He's a slick boxer, and more often than none, the slick boxer usually wins the fight against a brawler. But my argument with him was that he labeled Manny Pacquiao as a brawler. I said to him, I said, Manny Pacquiao is not a brawler. Manny Pacquiao is what I would call a boxer puncher. It's just that Manny Pacquiao is more offensive. See, to me, a brawler is someone who gets in your chest and just throws a bunch of punches and just goes to... They just throw a bunch of punches and not worrying about distance and angles. All right? A brawler comes in, tries to get as close as possible, tries to hunt you down and close the distance and cuts off the ring and starts throwing punches. But Manny Pacquiao's style does not show those aspects. His style is more of a distance style, where he gauges his distance and throws his punches from a mid-range. Okay? From a mid-range distance. He does not go into your chest. He does not go in there cutting off the ring trying to throw a bunch of punches. He literally gauges the distance, gets mid-range, and fires. To me, he deals more with angles and with distance than a typical brawler does. He's not a brawler to me. He may not have the jab of a pure boxer, but the way he fights to me is kind of a boxer puncher type of way. A guy with a boxer with punching power. All right? I mean, he only has one hand with punching power. I don't think he has punching power in both hands. I think he has punching power more in his left hand. His right hand is more to gauge distance and left hooks to set you up for the left hand. I mean, right hooks. Excuse me, right hooks to set you up for the left hand. And to me, he does not have brawler qualities. Manny Pacquiao fights from a distance. He gauges the distance. He uses his footwork. And he works himself at a mid-range. He doesn't come in chin tucked to get into your chest and fight you on the inside. He's not that type of guy. He's not trying to fight you in the pocket. He's trying to gauge the distance using his jab, which he doesn't do too often, but he uses his jab. It's not a stiff jab. It's just a rangefinder jab and a left hook to set you up for the left hand. I think he has more qualities of a boxer puncher than a brawler. I think a lot of people have Manny Pacquiao confused with Castillo or Maidana. He's not those. Actually, Castillo himself is a boxer, but I don't think they have him confused with the Maidana, which is a brawler, a guy who gets in there and just throws punches, throws overhand rights and things as such. He's not that type of fighter. Manny Pacquiao, to me, fights more like an Adonis Stevenson. Manny Pacquiao and Adonis Stevenson have more in common to me. They're both boxer punchers to me. They use their footwork. Their right hand is not really a power punch. It's not really a punch with meaning. It's just a punch to really gauge you or find the range or set you up to get you open to get hit by the left hand. See, a lot of people have made a mistake thinking that this guy is a brawler. Saying things like he's gonna do what Maidana did. No. In fact, if he does what Maidana did, he'll lose. I prefer Manny Pacquiao doing what he always does. Keeping a distance, gauging the distance, using the right hand to gauge the distance. And if he could possibly, this is why I have a problem with Freddie Roach. Talking about working on the left hand. You should be working on the right hand. Make sure his jab is on point. Make sure his right hook is on point so that he can land that left hand. He's already good with the left hand. As I was saying, to me, Manny Pacquiao is given this label this brawler label, which does not fit his fighting style, man. I think he's more of a boxer puncher. And I think if he tries to use any other tactic, like a close range tactic, he's gonna fall into a trap. So my friend he kept saying that a slick boxer will always beat a brawler. But Manny Pacquiao, to me, he's not a brawler. I have not seen any brawler qualities. Manny Pacquiao actually uses his head. A lot of people think he doesn't use his brain, that he just goes in there and throws a bunch of punches. I mean, the man has to gauge the distance for him to throw his punches. All right? He's not a two-handed fighter. We all can tell that. He's like Adonis Stevenson. He's not a two-handed fighter, but his left hand is dangerous. And he has to use his head to set up that left hand. And that left hand has been able to set it up against some tough opposition. To me, some very good boxers. It's not easy to have your punch land, to set up your punch to land on a boxer. It's very difficult. And you have to have the brain power and the intelligence, to be able to do that. He has to be able to gauge the distance with his right hand, be able to set the person up with traps, and figure out the angle where the person's going to be to land that perfect left hand. To me, that doesn't seem like someone who's just going in there brawling, throwing punches, just throwing a bunch of punches. It seems that way because Manny Pacquiao comes from the school of never throwing one punch at a time. Like a Sugar Ray Leonard, who always threw more than one punch. I'm not saying Manny Pacquiao is a Sugar Ray Leonard when it comes to boxing IQ. I'm just saying he uses that same technique of throwing more than one punch. All right? So it may look like he's a brawler, but he's not. Manny Pacquiao's not stupid in there, man. He's not stupid. I'm not saying he's the smartest guy in the boxing ring, but he's not dumb in the boxing ring. He knows what he's doing. The only problem I have is that it seems like Pacquiao with all this potential, I think that I think Freddie Roach is a good trainer, but I think with all this potential that Manny Pacquiao has, I really feel that maybe, just maybe, if he had a different trainer, then I think maybe Manny Pacquiao would have been greater than he is. Someone who can develop his right hand, who can make his footwork a little bit less reckless, and help him with his defense, knowing to bring back his hands to his face after he throws the punch. I mean, could you imagine Manny Pacquiao with all these skills? But anyways, man, let me know what you think about Manny Pacquiao's style. What do you think he is? Is he a brawler? Or is he a boxer? Is he a puncher or is he a boxer puncher? Let me know what you think. All right, peace.